All right, so today we're going to dive into something that I think is something we all really struggle with. I titled this live, Nobody's Going to Love You for Who You Are If You Don't Love You for Who You Are. And where we're going today is this energy that I've been really looking at personally, where we keep looking for other people to be for us what we're not willing to be for us. And if you guys are live, I see you, and I'm so grateful I see you. And I'm not going live on my computer anymore. That's ridiculous. I love this way better. So you guys, if you're new to Infinite Being School and you've never been here before, welcome. I'm Crystal Crawford. I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator, and you can go to infinitebeingschool.com and get like a whole digital course, an introduction to the Access tools, everything you could possibly need. Hi, Amy. But today is the kickoff for a new arm of Infinite Being School called Infinite Being School Prime. And what we're going to start doing in Infinite Being School Prime are these 30 by 30 clearings around certain topics. And today's topic is in and around being the valuable product. Like, are you the valuable product in your life? Hi, everybody. Hi, Susan. Hi, Monique. Hi, Amy. So because of the way I'm filming this, I'm in the way of my own notes. But listen, guys, this came from a search for change for myself. And what I'm going to share with you today comes directly from the reference materials, directly from the thing that I'm using to change my own life in and around this. And I want you to have it, and I want us to have change. Okay. This section in the reference materials, which is this big body of archived materials from Access Consciousness, is called You as the Most Valuable Product in Your Life. And it starts out so confronting. You want to hear it? You haven't chosen to create a life. You'd like somebody else to do it for you. That's called being a wife. How many of you believe that it should be your turn to be taken care of now? The problem is you're all more capable of taking care of life in general than anybody else around you. Have you ever noticed that you get more done than anybody else around you, but you keep going, who's going to take care of me? I'm sorry, but you're going to have to find somebody who's brighter, faster, quicker, and richer than you. Do you truly want somebody else to take care of you? No. The one person who won't take care of you totally is you. Now, hi Amanda. Hi Maxie. I have to tell you something about this particular topic, you guys. I have a new private podcast coming out called The Naked Life, where I'm starting to share almost daily real-time epiphanies or real-time struggles and curiosities in a way that I've never done before. Because for me, this last year and a bit, ever since we moved to Latin America, has been really, really hard. Now, you're gonna get to watch as I walk through this and find my way into the choice for happy. But as I've been walking, one of the gifts of my own process has been for me, that, how do I articulate this? That I get to kind of stumble on these mega things that I'm doing and then share them with you. One of the latest huge epiphanies that I have uncovered is that every single time I react in the relationship, and Andres is my primary, so he's almost always going to be in the conversation. Every time I react, or I go into sadness, or I go into some sort of heavy energy, at the base of it, I am proving that I'm not worth anything. Now, I have to tell you, this took me almost a year and a half to get to. I was looking at all kinds of things before I was looking at this. I was looking at jealousy as a distractor implant, relationship as a distractor implant. So by the way, once you start getting yourself into these different memberships that are opening up, you're going to have access to the distractor implant study series. And there's 24 of those fuckers. You can be distracted by relationship, jealousy, love, sex. Man, so many different things. So I started looking at that first. This is where I've looked first, right? So I'm going into all this reaction when I first moved here. The very first thing I probably could have strengthened is, who does this belong to? Because you move to a new country with a whole new world of energies, and of course you're psychic, and so none of that shit's yours. But I didn't look there first. Because to me, it felt true. So this is what you kind of have to get when you can't seem to change something, when you're in a pattern of something, when it's repeating like that, to you, there's something that's true that you're trying to figure out and fix. So this whole thing felt true. Like, it felt true that I wasn't as good at it. It felt true that I was less than. All that felt true. So when something to you feels like a fact, you don't question it. I didn't want to question who this belonged to. Like, it was just true. And I had all this proof. Now you'll get to find out more about that in the private podcast. But I want to preface this conversation with that, because fast forward like a year and a half later, and I'm finally looking at something different. I'm like, what is it I am trying to create with this behavior, right? So this valuable product conversation is like, when you can't change something, when you've been trying to change something, what's at the very bottom of it is that you don't think you're valuable. So I kept trying. So I was finally like, what does it actually take to change reaction? I've done clearing loops on reaction. I've done clearing how I'm using everybody else's choices as PTSD. I've looked at distractor implants. I've looked at awareness. I've looked at everything. What does it actually take to change this? And then like 3 weeks ago, I changed one thing. I started asking Andres to run the judgment process with me, right? So anytime you're in a reaction of any kind, and we all react differently. Some of us react really loudly. Some of us react by withdrawing. All reactions. You are in judgment. Okay, so whose judgment is it? At that moment, it kind of doesn't matter unless you're really willing to get present with it. You're doing the judgment. So I started asking Andres about 3 or 4 weeks ago to run the judgment process with me. Now, that's not something that's like I'm going to make public knowledge, but it's something you can get through a facilitator. So we ran this judgment process, and it started clearing a lot of it. There was like layer after layer after layer after layer after layer of judgment I was doing. When I finally got down to the last layer, I was judging me 100% of the time, because I had him run this process with me on like 6 different topics that I just couldn't change. So at the very base of it, the judgment that I was functioning from was this intense judgment of me. And everything I was doing was in reaction to the judgment I had of me. Like, I'm not worth anything and I don't want that to be true. I'm not worth anything and I don't want you to keep poking that. I'm not worth anything. I'm not worth anything and therefore you're wrong. I had a good cry that night because I didn't know that's what I was doing. And I started really looking for what it would take to know that I'm worth, that I am, that I'm valuable, just because I am. And, you know, from that moment on, I started seeing how conditional I had made my value. I'm valuable if this. And when this isn't happening and you're kicking and telling me that I'm not valuable from my point of view, then I have to make you wrong. So it's like this incredible cycle. So I was like, the only antidote to any of this is to walk through the world knowing that I am valuable because I'm valuable. And so it pinged me to start to look for something that I could use that would really begin to change this in a deep and meaningful, long-lasting way. And that's when I found this part of the reference materials. Let me read this to you. Nobody's going to love you for who you are, because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for Andres to love me in the way that I wanted to be loved, primarily because he's my 24/7. And then I was looking for validation from my audience. I was looking for validation from who signs up for my programs or doesn't sign up for my programs. Essentially, it was a seeking validation, right? Nobody's going to love you for who you are because you don't love you for who you are. You don't make you the valuable product in your own life. So when we're not making ourselves the valuable product in our own life, it affects everything. It affects what we say yes to, what we don't say yes to. It affects what we won't say no to. It affects what we really want to say no to. It affects everything. It affects how you respond to another person, because what we've done is we've made everything outside of us the source of the proof that we're valuable. We haven't been willing to know it, we haven't been willing to be it, and we haven't been willing to choose it. Here's another piece of this. most of you learn how to not be the most valuable product. For example, how many lifetimes have you bought that women and children are more valuable than men? When a ship goes down, save the women and children first. Well, as a woman, if you buy that, then you always have to look at what you can get rather than look at what somebody's willing to give you. It's always about what you lack and never about what you can contribute and what can be contributed to you. If you are not the most valuable product in your life, then you are excluded from your life. So start to find what's valuable about you so that you can come to an awareness of who you really are. I mean, this just goes on and on. If you're always trying to get it right, you've already decided that you're wrong. And that makes you the valueless person in your reality because you're automatically wrong, which is why you're trying to get it right. And then you wonder why you can't seem to get things going the way you want them to. This is why. So he goes, you need to run this clearing 30 times a day for 90 days. And a lot of you guys were around when I was doing 30 by 30s, which is one clearing, 30 times out loud for 30 days. That's what a 30 by 30 is. And I was doing every single day for 3 years. I did those. And that was probably the period of my life where I had the most change. And then I stopped. And why did I stop? Because I started judging me as not having it together, as not being good enough, as valueless. We're cutting that shit out. Here's the clearing. What energy, space, and consciousness can I be that would allow me to be the most valuable product in my reality? And everything that doesn't allow it to show up, I destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. So for the next 30 days, we're going to do that clearing. I'm going to lead it 30 times a day for 30 days out loud. And we're going to do it inside what I'm calling Infinite Being School Prime. But you can click the link and you can get 7 free days. So you can come see what it's like to be with me live, to listen to the recording. I am going to record them. There's going to be other perks to Infinite Being School Prime that you can experience for free for 7 days, my gift to you. Because what I want to do is keep doing this. So after this 30 days, I'm going to do another 30 days, I'm going to do another 30 days, and then we're going to do another clearing, and I just don't want to stop. And I know some of you are like that too, so I wanted to put it into the form of a membership and offer you that as a gift, offer you me as a gift daily, if you choose. And so the cool thing about doing this every day is you won't have to be live. If you can't make it live, it's not a big deal. There will be a recording you can just play. And every day will be a little bit different because I'll be different every day, and I'm sure I can't stop talking, so it won't just be the clearing. But if you click the link above my head, you can get yourself involved. It's free for 7 days, and then after 7 days, $37 a month, a little tiny bit over $1 a day to come play. And we're going to begin a different era right now. We're going to begin in this particular month in real time to know and be valuable to ourselves. And we're just going to start the process. And out of the process is going to come all kinds of things. Ideas, change, openings, awareness, more choice. So I want you guys to know how grateful I am for you that you're here and that you contribute your energy to my life. And I want you to know that I'm grateful we have these tools. And yeah, let's get started. I'm going to start on Thursday. In real time, I'm starting Thursday, December 8th. If you're watching this in the future, you can still click the link. I will have modified it for you. And I wonder what we can create.